I am very proudly a capitalist pig. Oink, oink. Give me a 85-ounce double cheeseburger Coke, and I'll be like a pig in mud. That is what freedom means.
Everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG, and may the zoo be with you, our podcast about flesh and blood. I'm Louie, and I'm joined by Mitch from Midtown Merchant and George from Compete Sport. Fellas, how's it going?
It is good to be here with you.
Oh, that was better the fourth time. That was way better the fourth time.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
I'm so sorry about the audio last week. It should be better this week, although I do have people working on my basement now. That's why I have a nice backdrop where you might hear a jackhammer going on, because I've been having flooding in my basement for the last 3 months. So anyway, what's our topics this week for May the Zoo Be With You?
We're going to start off with a wonderful discussion and the first take of this about Crucible Unlimited.
Yeah.
And how plentiful it is in the market.
Yeah.
You could go and tell your store, I'll take it all, because you're going to have more than you can handle. Bring a dump truck. You can fill it up.
You can buy out your whole state.
You absolutely
I legitimately could.
You can.
I think the amount of boxes I requested is probably the amount of boxes all of Oklahoma is getting.
You probably can buy out every state that's not housed by Channel Fireball.
That's bad. Yes. Well, actually, I say that. I forget Team Covenant's here, and Team Covenant probably does actually have a plethora of problems.
You can bring your like Corolla to my store and fill it up with the boxes.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about Crucible Unlimited supply. What else are we talking about?
We're going to talk about tails, so you don't whine.
Yes, because that's the big buzzword right now. Why would we not talk about tails?
You can throw a head in the ring and also guess wrong about everything.
We need the clickbait. I mean, it's clear.
You stick around to hear three idiots guess who have no insider information and get it all wrong.
For the record, that is the entirety of every Flesh and Blood YouTube channel. So you, like, including me. That's what's fun. It's fun to speculate. Just because we play the game, George.
So look at that. You can be wrong more.
Look at that dumbfounded look on his face. That was beautiful.
What are you talking about? Then, like, the topic that, like, I think is far more interesting is going to be how, like, we legitimately, not funny crew you restock, we all got, like, super sized, like, big gulp sized, super double gulp sized restocks of Welcome to Wraith and Arcane from Japan.
Yeah.
Now, people are, of course, unhappy about this because if they do something, you must complain.
Sure.
That is the CCG way.
That actually is true.
So we're going to talk about the print quality differences and what we think about that print quality differences in the supply. So, all right, let's hop in. Crew U.
And I will judge everybody who whines about this. Continue, Louie.
Crew U. So, rumor I've heard from various sources is that the entirety of the distribution, we call it the one that likes the small stores, even though they charge 18% more, but it's the only way for a small store to get boxes. That entire distributor got the same number of boxes for all the LGSs as Channel Fireball.
I heard that rumor too.
Like, what?
So it's funny. Both the one distributor who hates you chumps, the good one, they said to me that my order. Whoa, Louis just went to heaven.
It's good. It's good.
Did you see tails while you were up there?
He's just dialing in his exposure. It's fine, George.
It's okay, George. Chill out.
Whoa. All right, Angel Louis, simmer down. So the good distributor, the one that likes cool people like me, they told me that my order for Crucible Unlimited was more than they got as a company. And somehow I got allocated, which I was shocked by. So it's funny.
You just can't send me everything? That's not how it works?
I called one of the stores who I'm good friends with.
Time.
And like he does some business. He's not huge, but he got 300 boxes of Monarch Unlimited would be my Monarch first would be my gut. Like, it's a good size. So I called him to complain about my allocations, because that's what we do every time we get allocations. And he was like, "Dude, I got 12 boxes. Shut the F up." And so I shut the F up. That was it.
A guy who got 300 first edition Monarch boxes got 12 Crucible Unlimited.
That honestly basically matches.
That matches everything.
That matches my percentage.
Yeah, matches mine too. I got over
Crazy.
$200 of Monarch, or 200 boxes of Monarch, and I got 8 crew boxes.
What do you do with your 8 crew boxes?
I have not gotten my allocation of crew yet.
Oh, I've only gotten half of it. Sorry. I might have a whopping 16.
I'm guessing
I might have 16. Well, one of them doesn't even have their numbers yet, and it's supposed to release on Friday.
Okay, so let me ask this first question, and we'll get into really talking about. But why even release? Like, why not delay it rather than just like, hey, here's 4 boxes to every store?
So,
like, what is a store going to do for? Like, it's going to create this kind of like,
scarcity.
I don't know, like scarcity that's like artificial, and it's like a month before the next release. Like, I feel like
it's really hard because it's a non-draftable set, right? When somebody usually gets obliterated on allocations, they call me and say, "What should I do?" I tell them like, "This is easy. Just draft it, do a sealed event, do some event. Everybody gets a piece."
Yeah,
right.
Can't do that with crew. Like the guy who has 12 boxes, he's like, "George, I have more than 12 customers.
I guess you just
sell singles,
sell packs.
If I limit it to a box, somebody's gonna be PO'd. What do I do?"
I get it though. Like I get the idea of like not wanting to delay it.
And they were transparent.
It'll be curious. Like I wonder how much of that went to Team Covenant and Channel Fireball, and like if that's one of the reasons that the local game stores. I mean, we're just projecting there, but I don't know.
No insider information.
I mean, like I think. I'm glad they didn't delay it, to be honest. Like, I would prefer this. Now, I'm saying this is somebody who, like, got some boxes.
Right.
You know, not a chunk. So, you know.
I mean.
I got some boxes. I didn't get a ton of. I didn't get, you know. I got nowhere. You can't see what I got from what I ordered. But I got some boxes. I got enough to sell to some of my customers.
Yeah.
All local, do not mistake me. We're getting none of you with me. This has been a real problem for the game. I think is that Crucible is outrageously expensive for first edition for players. It's a player set, in my opinion, and there are certain cards you need in there to make certain decks.
Yeah,
so they really need these boxes out there. In my opinion, the quicker you get them out there, the better this is going to be. I think they made the right decision, even though obviously I think they admit this and we know this. We wish there had been slightly more, you know, a lot more boxes.
Well, here's what I love. James White told us this.
Yeah.
In one of the, I don't remember if it was an interview or whatever, he said the first wave was going to be disappointing. And so, like, to me, that's like, okay, we have information from LSS. First wave is going to be disappointing. I'm disappointed, but I can't complain. Like, it's fine. Like,
there's transparency. It was expected.
Transparency, communication, and that's all good. And that's what we've said. Like, I feel like we need to be fair, right? Like, we need to be fair as content creators. Like, we need to be fair to say, like,
he called us content creators.
Yeah, that's what you guys are. You guys are on a podcast. We need to be fair to say, like, they did communicate this time around, and so, like, that's a win.
Yeah, I will defend them on this. Like, I won't defend the print run, but like, I think like they knew they had a problem and they handled it the right way.
Yeah,
right.
I have like something I have, and we'll go over this when we get to the print quality issues with the Japanese cards, but like something I have tried very hard to do as there's become some issues with LSS is not paint them into a no-win corner.
Yeah,
I can't complain about both things if there's two options. I get to say like, you know, I wish they had done this.
Right.
There was no good option when they got their 8 boxes of Crucible Unlimited into the shore. Right? Like, what are you going to do with this?
Right.
They did the right thing, in my opinion. They released it. They put it out to stores. And, like, frankly, y'all better go to your LGS on release day and go buy your boxes, or you probably ain't getting any.
Right. Or like, hope that you pre-ordered from Team Covenant, who is getting some.
Like, right. I will absolutely be selling out on release day. I will guarantee that.
Yeah.
Everybody will.
Yeah. Like, you come to me on the first.
What do you guys think that this is going to do to affect Crucible first edition singles values?
I think it will make Monarch go to 1K. That's just my gut. I'm not sure, but like that's my hunch is that this will force Monarch to go up to 1K.
I'm curious to see how the pull rates in Crew U change.
Rainbow Shiana is going to go to the moon.
No, but really, what do you think it does for first edition Crew? Do you think it affects it at all?
I don't think it affects it at all. I don't think it's going to go up. Yeah, there's not going to be enough in the market. If anything, the Crew U will just be higher than they should be off the bat. Yeah. Would be my expectation. I think that the unlimited singles will be lower than first edition, but will still be fairly high. What's really interesting about Crew U too is the rares actually hold some decent value. So
it'll be interesting to see if that's true in Crew U.
Like, I don't stock rares, but I'm like, maybe I do it with Crew. I don't know.
I think that the Crew first edition cards would have dropped significantly more on release of Crew Unlimited had there been a huge wave of Crew Unlimited. But I think that as a result of a slow drip of Crew Unlimited, you're going to see first edition prices stay about what they are, and you might see like the majestic rainbow foils increase just as a result of there just not being that many of them. But
so let me add something on what Mick said here. Do not overpay for Crucible Unlimited.
Yeah, I agree.
You will see a bunch of What are we rated? A bunch of jack butts, because I don't want to say jack A words.
This is a PG. What's the game rated? PG-16. You can say whatever you want. This is my channel, but you can say whatever you want. I don't actually care.
Like, you're going to see a bunch of stores, I bet, be a bunch of jackasses in charge way above even
150, 125.
Mm-hmm. Do not pay that.
I'll tell you what.
To go pound sand and wait 4 more weeks until we get another huge wave and never go back to that store.
Or just buy the singles you need if they're stable. Like
it'll be funny to see the buy the singles. Just keep going, Mitch. Keep going.
Well, I mean, there's a caveat. You can buy Crew U singles knowing that you're likely going to pay more than what you would pay in a month or two. So there's that caveat. But you could also just buy Crew first singles.
Curiosity.
Oh, there's a great website named midtownmerchant.com.
You mean the single store guys pumping singles? So here's the thing. Where I think this falls is with the Road to Nationals and that's the thing.
100%.
I wish that it was bigger, but it's not going to be. So again, don't overpay. Buy the singles you need, maybe. Trade for some if you need to. It'll be interesting to see if we see these stores that are dumping unlimited product for $50, sell
$150,
selling $150 Crew boxes. I'm not going to be able to handle it. Like, I'm not going to be able to mentally, I'm not going to be able to handle that frustration.
No chill.
As a content creator, I'm going to be very upset with them.
Should we blacklist them? Create a Louis blacklist?
No, I'm not that critical. I don't know. I just feel like that's going to be those stores that are doing that.
I think that's true. I mean,
I think that's fair.
I don't know. I am hearing that the second wave might be here before Vegas.
It'd be great.
That'd be nice.
So officially, the second wave is August 30th, which would be before Vegas.
Yeah. So and I'm hearing they're feeling like that Japanese printer, which I'll talk about in a minute again. It's printing some cardboard. They're printing some cardboard. Like they are going nuts.
They're putting out for sure.
So like if we get a bunch of Crew U based on those numbers I'm getting for Wraith and Arcane, y'all just need to find your zen and be chill for 4 weeks, and like these boxes will go back down to map. And that's the crazy thing. Map will be in place for this map for how long? For 100 years.
Forever. They said, not forever, but they said until they decide to release it. It won't be released by by a timeline. It's just going to be up forever.
That hasn't been part of this conversation. Did they say that with Monarch as well?
Monarch will not have a map released until they say it's released.
I must say I'm a little concerned about, because Monarch first should hit 1K pretty soon here, I think, and like I think that will affect Monarch Unlimited prices tremendously as well.
I think George.
We can talk about that the whole episode.
I think he thinks there's enough people listening here to influence the market to 1K.
Yeah,
we have 1/6 of the market listening, maybe 1/10.
Anyway, moving on.
That's 1K.
George, I disagree with you that I think Crucible certainly has a lot of cards that are player cards, right? Like you were right. It has the cards that are needed to play, and I would certainly say that is something that is a driving factor for Crucible. However, I do think that Crucible is really considered a collector set as well. Like I don't want to play Sweden or Switzerland here, but like I think people are going to be opening Crucible boxes like crazy for whether that be content creators or just people too who even like already have their crew cards. Simply put, because of like Shiana and the Majestic, it'll be rainbow foils. Like those are cool cards, and I think a lot of people will need them. So anyway, just opinion.
I'll be curious to see what cards actually hold value or what the EV is. I'm looking forward to Louis' first crew video with Unlimited and the EV in about 2 or 3 weeks.
It's going to be $20 trillion in the beginning. It's going to be like
EV
for the Crew Unlimited box. It's 5 times the Crucible first edition.
I think give it like, let's say after Nationals, so like this winter, I will be surprised if it hits $100 for EV.
No. Like, listen,
that's what I'm saying.
My feelings about Crucible are well documented. It will be well over $100 for EV. I'm Team Louis on this, which is very depressing again.
Like you're saying if you hit a good case, it'll be over $100 a box.
No. There's enough here's why collectors hate Crucible. There's only a few cards worth a lot of money, but there's a lot of cards worth a little bit of money. A little bit being like $700.
Some money.
What are you talking about?
We talked about this last week too.
George, why do you hate Majestic cold foils so much? Why do you pretend? They were like at the peak. They were like almost approaching $1,000 cards.
Okay,
and you can buy them at $80.
Like that's nothing. Like that's my point. Like that is the second highest level of cold foil in that box, and they're worth $1,000 at the peak.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
that's
expensive?
What do you?
Expensive.
Oh my gosh, you were such a 1%er.
It's expensive.
That's an expensive card.
I will say this: I don't know. That's not true. I know of very few, I would say, high-end collectors who have a lot of Crucible Majestics.
Sure, and that's a mistake on their part. You know who does have Crucible Majestics?
Who?
The Dolphins, like me. Crucible Majestic.
You all can have fun in your kiddie pool.
We need to get a soundboard so every time Louis says dolphin, there's like a little dolphin.
I love nothing more than putting the whale emote on everything Louis posts on Discord.
I know, I love it.
It is my favorite thing.
Every time I post anything on Discord, I get all excited because of all the emojis, and then I look and it's all from George, and I'm like, nobody actually likes me.
A false sense of security from George.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, George, but like, do you really matter?
It's like, I'm your biggest fan.
Does George really count? Like, it's like, does it really matter?
No.
Like, in a lot of ways, George and my mom have a lot in common. Like, their opinion of me just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I love you, Mom, but like,
that went deep. That cut deep real quick. I thought George would hold a little more clout than that, but it's fine. You just compared him to a parent. He's not even close enough to be old enough to be a parent, but it's fine. Actually, no, he could probably be your parent.
I don't.
He would have had you in his infancy.
What are you, George? 65? How old are you?
63 on a good day is how I feel today, I'll be honest.
He would have had you as a teenager, but it's fine.
This is a huge cat. What were we even talking about? I don't even remember.
We're about how cold foil Majestics are worth a ton of money because you're bad at math.
So, like, here's the thing. I think that the average Flesh and Blood collector, like a $400 or $500 card, is a good pull for them. It's a desirable thing.
But like, first of all, let me be very clear here. If you were to call me and say, George, I want to put $500 into Flesh and Blood, I would not be selling you a cold foil Majestic today.
That's 100% right.
What would you sell me?
What would I sell you? Honestly, I tell you guys go buy some Monarch boxes.
Okay, so
actually, that's a fair investment. Actually,
that's a much better bet.
Especially because you think it's going to go to 1K and you're trying to, like
pump.
No, like it's not even a pumping. Like that is actually probably advantageous.
A sealed product is always the best investment. I think though that cold foil Majestic.
I would tell you to go buy some cold foils from Monarch Gun. Like those have much more room to run, in my opinion.
100%.
Totally disagree with you guys. Anyway, let's talk about why.
Now the Husk $300.
Let's talk about why I disagree. Number one, because I think the cards are super playable, and I think that's going to affect Crucible.
Because it's a player set.
I see things both the same way. I see players who want to play the cards and like playing the cards, and then they say, "Okay, I'm committed to this hero, so now I'm going to flash out my deck and buy the cold foil." And I think that I think that Crucible Unlimited is going to open up the door for more players to come in and play the game. Nobody has an excuse anymore. Like for the last year, everyone's had an excuse. A Courage Blade holds $150 for the non-foil Crucible, right? Like everyone's had an excuse. There are no more freaking excuses for saying that Flesh and Blood's too expensive after this month when Crucible is.
That is a wrong and spicy take. I love it. Keep going.
After this month, after this month, when you can buy Crucible Unlimited boxes for for Matt.
How is it wrong though? Why is that the wrong?
How much is Rainbow Foil Tunic right now, Louis?
Oh my gosh, you were so like you.
Yes, but how much is a non-foil tunic going to be within Crew? What's your guess?
That's the most important question.
And you do not need a tunic to play like to have a competitive deck.
Crew Tunic's $100, $75 max.
I think it'll be 150 at open though. 150 to 200 open. I think it'll drop.
The first edition is $300.
Is that true?
No.
Yes, it is. It's 100% true. You can buy one on TCG Player right now. You can buy one on TCG Player right now for $330. I bet.
I understand. How much is a Rainbow Foil Unlimited
George's fingers are going for it.
How much is a Rainbow Foil Unlimited going for right now? It does not matter what it costs in first edition. Okay. So I think it'll be $50 cheaper for non-Rainbow Foil at open. Okay. $175 will be the open price. I'm not saying that's what it'll be in 3 months.
The price when there's 16 boxes in the universe.
I 100% agree that it should be $100 or less within 6 months.
In 2 months, you will not. Once we have supply, you will be able to buy a tunic for $75 to play the game.
So tell me this. I know there are 1 million Majestics within the box. My curiosity as a single story is there are 1 million Majestics in the box.
Sorry, I was thinking equipment. Sorry, continue.
There's not. Yeah, sorry, there's other Majestics other than equipment, Louis. But there are 1 million Majestics in the box.
Wait, I noticed that George is no longer telling me I'm wrong. Is that because I was right about the Crucible?
Yelling at me. I didn't want to get yelled at. Oh, you are right though.
It is 300, but it came down from 600. Feels bad, man. I guess the biggest thing is
that's not bad. All right. No. Louis is right. Everybody stop whining.
Actually, what you need to start doing, should you buy a crewneck now instead of a Rainbow Foil tunic?
No. Oh God, no. People, this is why you should not buy a first edition non-foil tunic, because the first edition non-foil tunic can be in literally any set. It could be in Tails. They could put a non-foil first edition tunic in
It's first edition, Louis. There's only so many of the first editions.
I'm just saying, like, the non-foil doesn't mean anything. They can't do the cold foil. Cold foil tunic can be worth $1 zillion. It can be.
But I don't have $10,000, Louis. What do I do?
You buy the non-foil. So here's the thing. I think non-foil tunic $75.
In 3 months,
no.
3 to 6 months.
No chance. There's no
once
chance
we have boxes. What do you?
Once we have boxes.
I'm not talking about Crucible first edition. I'm talking about the unlimited one, George.
I think it'll be $100.
I think it's fair. I think 100.
That's too expensive, George.
I don't think so, but like I think that I don't think it'll be that for a while. Not until the second wave. Listen, I think
that's true.
I think I don't know what it would cost to build a competitive deck right now. Probably, I will say I think it's expensive right now. Like I had somebody drop almost $2,000 on singles for a competitive deck. That seems high.
That's a lot. That is a lot. What are they buying?
That's expensive. That's not the average.
What's the average Magic deck for a competitive Magic deck?
And this is always the question: is like a competitive Magic deck for Commander can be tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
I think people are complaining from Magic the Gathering that this game is too expensive.
I think Modern is probably the best comparison for what a deck price should be. I think a Modern deck usually runs around $600. That would probably be the average. I think my Modern Humans deck was $600.
Are you saying that because nobody plays either game, just out of curiosity, or no?
Well, I mean, like if people were playing, like Commander is not like a competitive event. That's like a kitchen table thing.
That was a joke.
Why is the kitchen table version more expensive? This is my ignorance with Magic the Gathering.
Not being flat. It's like you can play reserveless cards, whatever. Modern is cards from I think it's 2003, 2004, or something like that. Up, and then you have Vintage and Legacy. So I think because Flesh and Blood is a non-rotating game, like a standard deck, I think the maximum Magic the Gathering standard deck should be like $200, $300, and that's probably about accurate. But Flesh and Blood doesn't rotate. If you buy a tunic, you can use a tunic literally forever. There's never a time in the world that you will ever not get to utilize your tunic. So if you spend $200 on a tunic, as long as they don't print it to the ground, it'll be worth $200. You know, if they do what George wants to do, then don't buy a tunic because he wants the tunic to be worth 35 cents.
Yep. I'm absolutely, that's absolutely correct. I want a tunic to be $30. I hope they keep printing cards until it is.
Sure. So you and the professor can go hang out and
look, all the professors can hang out together. That's good.
George, we forgot to do your intro.
Thank you.
That you're a Harvard professor.
That's not true, but that's okay. Continue.
I mean, kind of.
That's true. You can say whatever you want.
Lecture. So
lecture.
I will tell my funniest story about this. No, I won't tell it. It's stupid. Nobody cares.
Okay.
So if you want a funny story, call me later.
You can get
do we need to point to MetaZoo's website?
Yeah, you can go to your MetaZoo's website to get your phone number. I think that's an appropriate price for a deck, and so I do think that Crucible Unlimited will help that. But my point being, where we got here is that there's no longer an excuse for anybody to say that they can't play Flesh and Blood.
Okay, I agree.
The barrier of entry is continuing to come down.
Okay, awesome. We all agree they should have been more Crucible. We're sad, but we're glad they released it.
Pick a Monarch deck, and you can play the game for essentially free. I mean,
that's kind of true.
Like if you play a Monarch deck, LSS will actually send you money to play the game.
Not first edition boxes 0 to 1K. Okay, let's talk about Tales for a second.
Okay.
All right, Louis. So what did you want to guess about on Tales with us?
I already guessed about things on Tales on my channel. I have been producing content for all week. I would like to know what you guys think about Tales of Aria, because the idea of this podcast is not to just be Louis' thoughts.
I mean,
I think Tales will be 1K.
Did you see how proud he was of himself for saying that?
He's been waiting for like 3 days. He's like, you know what I'm going to do on the podcast? I'm going to.
That's true. Do you think, every set to 1K.
Do you think Tails will be 3K or 1K before Monarch's 1K?
So yes. It's a smaller set.
No, I'm kidding. I think
I'll bet you a case of Monarch that will not happen.
I will bet you. Here's the deal.
Tails is going to have a slow growth. That's my honor.
For sure. I think it's going to be more of a TCG market with Tails coming out.
I will. So this might be interesting to people. Probably not, but I don't really care. So I'm having a bunch of interesting conversations with stores about Tails this week. I had them yesterday, had them over the weekend. Stores that usually get some quantity are now we're talking about like what do we order? Because like with Monarch, we had an idea of what we think the print run would be. Right, we have an upper limit of what we think it could be and a lower limit. Right, they realistically probably couldn't produce less than Crucible, and they probably didn't have the printing capacity to do 3 times the Crucible. Is my gut.
Right,
I have no clue. But with all these new printers coming online,
right,
I have no earthly idea what the print run could be. If you told me the print run was 200,000 boxes, I'd believe you.
I would be so happy.
Why would you be happy if there's $2,000 first edition boxes?
I would be too, but you're a hypocrite.
Why am I a hypocrite?
Because I just got done saying how I want all these boxes to be, cheap, so all these cards can become cheap. And you're like, oh, George is bad at math. Him and the professor are friends, and now you're saying the same thing.
That's not what I'm saying. I want the ability to have a slow, responsible growth of the market. Like the idea of, okay, we're all going to buy up every box and every store is going to run out of boxes in 35 seconds because they put them up for $400 and they're selling for $500. That shouldn't be able to happen. Like stores should be selling boxes. I would much rather. We said this. Me and George said this for Monarch. And I'm sure Mitch was saying the same thing, but I think there was a call that we had when I did the first interview with George on the channel where you said this, and then Rudy's been saying it too since then, and that we much rather as retailers sell 1,000 boxes and make and make 30 cents a box, whatever it is, not 30 cents, I don't want to say our actual whatever, rather sell 1,000 boxes and make X than sell 100 boxes and make 10X. You make the same amount of money, but we have happier customers if we can get more customers.
And
there's a healthier growth of the game.
Yep.
And I think that's likely with this set. I will say that I am feeling far more confident that we're going to have a good rollout than I did last week. Channel Fireball keeps raising the price $10, but they keep putting on a metric ton of boxes.
Yeah.
Which tells us the print run's going to be a lot more. The
print run is going to be grande.
Right.
And I still think my gut has not changed. I think SCG is going to teach them a what.
I'm all down for that.
Unless I think just is like we're not dealing with it anymore because of the Monarch stuff.
I mean, they didn't burn anybody. Somebody asked me, how do you feel about Monarch? I'm like, I feel great. If you bought my bundle, if you bought boxes in my store, you're still way up.
Yeah.
Like SCG has nothing to apologize for because they didn't fleece their customers.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the people who have something to apologize for are those jokers being like, oh, I know, it releases tomorrow, $550 a box. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a great look.
No.
Right.
I'm not going to name names, though. I'm going to say I came in like a fireball. So
what does this mean for Tails? If they... So, like, because I think here's the caveat is like we think that Unlimited's delayed, or not delayed, but pushed back. And in fact,
they pushed it back.
In fact, we heard from that we're not even ordering it right now, right? That's kind of what we've heard. So,
I hold on. Inside scoop. I have heard
scoop alert.
I have heard that they are still looking at 60 to 90 days after first edition for Unlimited. But they're trying to not put that out to stores that much because they're worried about how it'll affect how distributors handle it. Because, like, listen, Tales Unlimited is going to be a hard mover for distributors, I think.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think so. So here's the game. No, here's the game. Monarch came out and it was like everything came out and Unlimited came out all at the same time. You didn't have enough time for the singles to dip and then start going back up. I think the optimal time for an Unlimited set to come out is singles have dropped and hit a 2 or 3 week plateau at the bottom, and the singles started going up to another increase of like 20-30%, and then you come out with Unlimited, where now your singles, if your box prices, let's see, at that point your box price is at like $220, and so your average Majestic is sitting at like $5 to $7, right? Then you have Unlimited come out and you can get the boxes for $76, and your singles are still worth $70 to $80 when you open the box. You can get all your cards to play. First edition collectors can keep working its way up. No,
I don't think it's that simple.
I think
everything is as simple as when I say it. It's all black and white, perfectly simple.
George and I have an idea that we both like.
Okay, let's hear it.
We're talking about invert the releases.
Yeah, I have always supported this. Release Unlimited first. Release
the players. And what's beautiful about this is you get cards in the player's hands, right? We get to feel out the set. What this could do with the disadvantage is that makes maybe the collector set less valuable if it's a bad set.
What are those?
Those were irises.
Those weren't hearts.
No.
Heart? Not really.
No.
I mean, if you're handing them out, sure. I've been wanting to wear one as a necklace, but it's fine. So release Unlimited first, get a feel for the market. The market starts to acclimate. We get a feel for it. Then you release first edition, and there's Easter eggs in it that you didn't even see in Unlimited, which makes things more exciting.
Only different art, no different cards.
How about,
right. Well, there are different cards. Like there was an extended art, there's extended art. There's a Galaxy Black. Like so those are the quote Easter eggs. There's even some different art on some cards. So like those are the Easter eggs and the things that add value. And I actually think those will carry more value. And then you don't have to print like an outrageously massive first edition size. It could still be a good size, but it doesn't have to be 200,000 boxes to entertain the thirst.
But the problem with that is if they do that, and then how are we supposed to open up 40 boxes on stream on release day of first edition?
We would still do that, but we just would do it for first edition instead of unlimited.
That's lame.
It's not as exciting.
I hope everybody here hears.
That's a great idea.
I was looking out for the players. Louis was looking out for his channel.
That's a great idea, but it's less fun for me. So I think they should not do it.
I care about you, the players.
I'm a fun suck. So
no, I get that. That would be cool. I don't see a world where LSS does that.
I don't either.
Listen, I think, part of me feels really bad for them because they did not expect this problem.
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
I mean, like when they first started to talk to me about Unlimited, way before it was ever a thing, they were like, well, what are your thoughts? And we talked about it. And I was like, so why are you doing first? And they were like, well, it encourages people to buy through that first. They never expected, I certainly didn't either. I never expected you would release 150,000 boxes on release day and you'd sell 150,000 boxes on release day.
Sure.
Like that, they were hoping it would take months to turn that inventory. And listen, like if somebody who tried to encourage people to try out alpha, that made a lot of sense to me.
Right.
This is
it's
not
a growth
problem.
pain. It's a growth pain. It's a figuring out how to react to the growth.
And I will again tell everybody just chill. Like I suspect this is the last set we're going to have this problem with. I think most first editions will sell out, but like I think the print run for Kingdoms, which is what I'll call the set after Tales now, is going to be enormous.
Okay, that's fine as long as they release PvE with Unlimited.
Yeah, they're going. PvE's coming. Like,
it's 100% coming.
Yeah, I hope they spoil it with somebody else, but they'll spoil it with somebody.
I'm sure they will.
I hope they spoil it with Mitch. I'll be honest.
I'm sure you will not see that person.
Like, hey, Mitch, could you please spoil PvE and not mention it, but then do the whole podcast about it?
Continuing.
So we talked about this in our trio. I'm the nice guy, Louis is the glue, and George is the antagonist. A saucy antagonist, as I call it.
It's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful
triad that we have here.
Because I'm on it.
As soon as I am mean, I am not George. I'm not funny.
You're not mean.
I am mean.
You're not mean enough for it to be funny.
No, I'm too mean that it's not funny.
No, you're not. You're just not mean
I, as
enough.
a human being, am not mean enough to meme enough.
You're not meme enough. You heard it here first, everyone. Mitch isn't meme enough.
You heard it.
Okay.
Oh, but long story short, I could not do that. I would feel so bad.
So Tails.
Doing that. So can't do that. Won't do it. Sorry.
I don't know. I think the print run's going to be big. I think I'm not worried about the unlimited side of things. I think people are going to calm down. No one's going to be buying $500 boxes. I think we're going to see.
Hopefully not.
I think we're going to see release come out. There's less hype about it, which is probably good. The hype for Monarch was incredibly
insatiable.
Large. So I am part of a flipping group where they, all the hot shoe releases, all the things you can buy to flip.
Of course,
and the second I saw Monarch hit that group, I was like, oh poop.
Yeah.
Oh poop. And listen,
and then the bots came and
and that's who got all the stupid TCG player bundles. It's it's all those people.
Right. So I don't see that happening. I think we have a steady release, a $200 box on release day, which is great. I don't think we see a decline on release day because you won't be seeing people.
No.
I see boxes going down to 150 within weeks, but
bingo.
Ahead.
But that's not a huge decline compared to 500 to 200 that we saw. I mean, that's
totally fair.
Like I'm not seeing a chart that looks like this.
Right.
Like if you look at my Monarch chart, it looks like this. It's not fun to look at. It took all the wind out of the sails of the entire market because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, everything's crashing because one set's crashing." Anyway, I don't think we see that. I just don't. I don't think that there's not the bridge for that. I don't know. I don't see it.
I just wanted to hit 1K.
Well, I don't really care what it hits, to be frank, as long as it's not 0. I do.
As long as the game doesn't die, Mitch is happy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where
I do think that
$1,000 a box, which is I want the game to survive till tomorrow.
I do think that this set will behave more similarly to a TCG than what we're used to.
I don't think it has the exponential growth on this set.
So we talked about top 3 TCGs or what it looks like to be that. I think actually the way that the market responds to the card game will be more reflective of the top 3. I'm not saying it will be. It just will be more healthy or just more expected and not set releases goes to a $1 jillion and just keeps rising, I think that there'll be a nice little curve and reset.
Okay. I don't think that they have, but I do think with the callings and there not being unlimited prior to the callings,
for sure,
I do think you're going to see a less than normal dip. Like, I think you're.
Admit, I don't love. I would have liked unlimited to be out before the calling.
Yep, I'm on team that.
Yeah, it just
much
paying
sense.
single prices though is the issue.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, let's move on. What's the next topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. So you can tell what I'm concerned about.
We all got 1 trillion boxes of Arcane and about 2 trillion boxes of Wraith this week from the Japanese printer.
And yeah, unless you're Louis, which didn't. But
well,
I have some arriving today and tomorrow. So
must be nice
I got a bunch. These chumps got nothing. Tough luck. So
it hit the East Coast first. So.
My inbox blew up with people complaining that the cards feel different.
Yeah, I've heard this too.
They're thicker. They're more glossy. They're less glossy. They're cut perfectly. They're too good. They're too good. Like
what?
Message me this. They're like, you can tell the difference because they're cut too well. They're too thick. It's too nice. I want to.
What's funny is this was alpha. This was alpha too.
I want
alpha cards were so nice.
To shut up. And here is my argument. You lovely people cannot have it both ways. You cannot complain both that we're not getting enough boxes and then complain that there's slight print variations between the different printers.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're different printers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you want to have Crucible Unlimited kind of print runs, then keep talking and they'll close down some printers and you guys can all fight over $200 boxes of Unlimited.
Yep.
But if you want a healthy game that grows, say thank you, LSS, for printing more boxes and thank you for making them available. People are like, oh, you can cheat.
Improving call quality.
Cheat without this help, okay?
Right.
You don't need this to cheat. There's easier ways to cheat. Go to California and cheat out there.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't believe me? I'll fight you. I will not fight anybody. I'm a man of peace and zen. But like, this like people I think are very like, I blew up on somebody about this. I'll be honest, as you can tell.
Everything they complained about, they fixed with this new printer. Yep. And they're like, oh, they're too good.
Too good. So I got what I wanted. How dare they? How dare they? Who is this James White guy doing what I wanted? What a jerk.
Let me play the comment section because I know that this is going to be what somebody would comment. I don't feel like reading it. But can't you cheat if the card's thicker? And won't you be able to see it in the deck? And
become blind like George, and you won't be able to see your cards no matter what you have. Okay, I can't read the cards I have.
I don't love that argument. I don't love that argument because I mean, if you're playing cards in a deck in sleeves, most of us double sleeve our cards anyway. Like I don't know. Right? I don't know that I buy. I mean, I haven't felt the cards, but
I'll let you know.
I will concede that they felt different. I will concede that they were clearly slightly thicker. I can do I think if you single sleeve it, you might be able to tell? Yeah, if you want to cheat, I think you might be able to cheat. Congratulations. You know how you help this? Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. Yeah.
This is easy.
Yeah.
I guess cheat. Like
there's and also frankly, there's easier the joke about California is hilarious, but more importantly, it shows that there's easier ways to cheat.
Yeah.
If you're going to cheat, this is a bad way to do it.
Right.
Just cheat.
So you sleeve a thicker card. How is that beneficial? I can just look at my deck and oh, that's the card I want.
It sticks up slightly more than the thinner cards.
The argument is that you'd be able to see it in your deck and know what card's coming or something like that. I don't know.
So would your opponent, but that's fine. I mean,
your opponent doesn't know what card it is.
But your opponent can look at your deck before you play a game, right?
Yeah, but they don't know what. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna look and feel out but you could put every blue pitch card could be the thicker one or whatever.
I hear you.
That's another level. I think what George is saying, and I agree. Unfortunately, I agree with George. What George is saying is that's another level at which at that point, if you're cheating, you're already cheating in other ways that are already going to be more than that. Sure. which is fine. Like, you know, it is what it is. I don't know.
It's not.
Go ahead, Louis.
I love that the card quality seems to be better according to people. Again, like I haven't seen the cards, but I have heard from multiple people. Card quality increased to me is the biggest deal, especially with first edition coming out. Like, I don't really care about card quality for unlimited. That doesn't really concern me that much.
I hear you on
card
that.
quality is the same for first edition. It's better. That's a huge win.
So this is what Tales is being printed in the States, right? Is the hypothesis
been the rumor?
So this is going to be the funny thing is
I thought you guys all disagreed with me on that.
No, I
thought you said, "What's the point of getting 3 printers if you're not going to utilize the?"
I think they're. So my understanding is that the Land of Freedom and Putin are getting the American printers cards.
Yeah,
Singapore and Asia, and I believe New Zealand.
Get Japan.
Is the rumor is getting the cards from Japan.
If anyone wants to send me booster boxes from Japan, I will gladly take them.
What's going on? Okay, and I believe the Eiffel Tower rights and those in the surrounding countries
get Belgium
are getting the Belgium card.
I actually had somebody legitimately say, he's like, "I'm in Europe. Can you send me Japan cards?" I was like,
"Yeah." And I
like, is there going to be this?
Like, and that is my point about this is like y'all need to chill. Like I hear you.
Like,
y'all need to chill.
So
like,
do we see the market though for sealed cases?
Crazy.
Do we see the market for sealed cases going for more in Japan if we start to notice a difference in quality from one region over another?
If you do, I will feel ashamed. Feel ashamed.
I don't know. So there's Japan there's Japan like Magic the Gathering cards, right? Or sets. Are those printed in Japan? And those typically have higher value than the other sets, right? No?
All depends.
No,
okay.
I mean,
it's not because of the printer that's determining the value.
So
is what we're saying.
Magic the Gathering is no one's really buying cards to grade. Like grading.
I will say this: if you email me and ask me to get you a box from Japan, you are going to be blacklisted from my store.
Oh, George does have a blacklist, by the way. We were joking about Louis' one. George has a very long list of blacklisted people.
What did I do to get on that, George?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Too much to list. You are number one. Like the blacklist right now is just like Louis and like Louis again. And I want to make sure I don't forget the name.
Double Louis.
Like,
he created like a second account that he then got banned from. And
like I mean this, you guys. Like we cannot have it both ways as a community.
Right.
Like we should be applauding and thanking LSS for doing what we have all been asking, which is produce more cards and produce them in higher quality.
Right. Which is
and they do that, and we're still whining.
Yeah.
What do you want LSS to do to get you off their back?
Right.
Like maybe I have an idea. What they should have done is dinged up all the cards from Japan so they look like our Monarch cards. Oh, why didn't I think of that?
Or just move it over a millimeter to the left and just miscut.
We could have miscut them all. Like, oh my god! Like,
put random blue dot on there.
We have this incredible idea. If you want me to step on your box of Japanese printed, I will do that so it looks a lot like the Monarch cards. Okay, I will ding them up for you before they get to you. If you really want me to. Like.
I think that the only way that the cards are considered, I don't think boxes will really increase. I think the only way that the cards will be more desirable is people who are buying to grade will buy a better condition one from whatever. And that's fair. And that's fine. And like people who want to grade, like they're free to do that, right? Like that's definitely the structure that they can do.
Here will be like, hey, let me be clear here. Like I think there will not be as many cards worth grading in this set, in my opinion. There's less cards worth grading every set.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's an interesting topic. Every time a new set comes out, a new set comes out, the amount of cards that you want to get graded as a collector goes down.
Yeah, I mean, like what is a BGS 9.5 Husk worth right now? Probably about what a Raw is worth.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, like, I would pay very, very, very little premium right now for a cool. There's too many of them.
Right.
There's too many of them.
Well, and I think that's kind of what I'm asking right now. Going into these next sets, like, will first edition hold? Is it just gonna be like a slightly higher premium? You think for Tales?
I think the premium will get less, like they has for every single set.
Right. I think,
and that's good and healthy. Like, listen, like as somebody who has arguably too big of a Welcome to Wraith collection. That is completely unhealthy to have the cold foils from Welcome to Wraith be worth a insane amount of money, while the unlimited version is worth very little comparatively.
Right.
That has decreased every set, and that should decrease every set.
Yeah.
I agree.
And like this is probably the last set that the difference is going to be really meaningful, in my opinion.
Sure. Is there a difference between like etch foiling versus the other foiling in MTG? I'm just looking for parallels in other markets right now.
Like it's tiny, and also like, there's like 85 variations for every card in Magic now.
People probably collect like the set of etch foils, but like no, they don't.
I mean, like here's the problem that Magic has right now, in my opinion at least. There's 80 variations of every card.
And there's like a million of every variation too.
Like, I mean, you were showing me this, yeah.
My favorite part of every set is the spreadsheet of what boxes you need to get what variation of the card. Like you literally need a spreadsheet.
And that prevents people from collecting it, I think.
Yeah, like why would you like you have to have it is so outrageously ridiculous.
I think what I'm trying to get at, and here's the question I have to ask.
Yeah.
What is like right now a common rainbow foil equipment goes for anywhere between like $2 to $5 or $1 to $5. What do we see that like? And then, cold foils are what, 10x that? 5x? No, like 50x that? I'm trying to think here out loud.
Yeah, so that would be 10x for $50. Like probably
50 to 100 right now for Monarch, I'm thinking.
Right. I don't think that those correlations really matter though, honestly.
I guess like what I'm trying to ask is, as sets progress, do you think the gaps between a cold foil and a rainbow foil variant will get smaller?
I don't.
Or do you think cold foils will just get cheaper? Like the gap will stay the same, but cold foils will be cheaper, and then rainbow foils will stay about the same.
I don't. I think the larger the print run gets, the larger the player base gets, and that keeps the cold foil. I think that's the idea. Like that keeps the cold foil price. That keeps the cold foil price inflated if they have whatever the percentage that they want. Yeah. I honestly, I know we all want extreme print runs. I honestly think LSS will play on the more conservative side. Like I still am on team that Monarch's like 50 to 60K. Like I'm still on that team.
I just don't think the market expanded as much as it need to take in all the unlimited product with the first edition.
Like, listen, I think the rollout for Monarch was a absolute mess through very little fault of LSS's fault, to be honest with you. Like I don't blame LSS for that at all.
100%.
Like there was just a lot of there was insanity surrounding Monarch. I don't think you're going to see that as much with Tails, and I certainly don't think you'll see it with a lot of sets after Tails.
Yeah. That being said, you may have seen a little cut in the break, and that's because we just saw the Star City Games pre-order went live while we were recording at 175. So everything we said at the previous in this podcast about Star City Games coming in.
No wrecking ball, huh, George?
Did not come in like a wrecking ball.
It didn't come in like a wrecking ball.
All right, obviously didn't listen to the podcast.
We're all paying $1 million for this now.
Well, I'll be honest, it does tell me the box is going to be at least $200.
Yeah.
What it tells me. Man. Who's left? Who's left that's going to sell any meaningful number of boxes?
Team Covenant will, but all their pre-orders are gone.
I want more Team Covenant stores.
Congrats, we all do.
Yes!
I want more Team Covenant stores. I want George to be a Team Covenant store. You've got to sell your,
George, would you sell more boxes at 100 at MSRP?
I want more stores that are required to sell at MSRP, but get guaranteed numbers and promos. Like I want more of that. I think that business model is golden. I think it's 2021.
Like a distributor.
Oh yeah, we could have golden distribution popping. I think that model works really well. There's nobody in the world that is upset about Team Covenant.
No, right? Like it was funny. Somebody said in the comment, they're like, "Oh, there's so much." You said they were more impactful. I'm like, I just want them to be. Like, I love them. Like they do everything right.
Yep.
They do everything right.
And
I mean,
somebody said, Louis, why can't you do that? And the answer is because I'll get like no boxes, and I have no clue what my boxes are.
Yeah,
until
Louis is a new store. He's gonna get 2 cases and be told to go thank himself for it.
And I have no clue what my boxes are. Like that's just not a possibility.
No.
Maybe my reputation, maybe LSS doesn't want that, but I would love to do that. LSS, if you want to do that if you
become direct before me, I'm leaving the podcast and probably the planet. I'm going to Mars with Elon if you become direct before me. I'm
just saying that if that's the model that works to get boxes into the hands of MSRP for players, I'm all for it.
Well, I do feel like the white flag is being raised today about TOA to Tails to MSRP.
No, that's no longer an option of
that's no longer an option. Yep. Like SCG was our only hope, and they have not.
You'll see a TCG player come out with some bundle thing again, right? That'll have
before people who have bots and get them. I'm rooting for you.
What I'm hoping is we see less flippers going into the set. I think we'll still see them. I hope that some of the flippers got burned in this last. You'll still see them.
Like I think you'll see a lot less. Like I mean, like you might not make money on this. Like there's like. What I don't think people understand about owning a store is there's a lot of costs involved that you don't think about.
Sure.
I don't sell on eBay very much. Why? Because they take like 15% of my money after PayPal and eBay.
TCG players similar.
And all that. Yeah, TCG is the similar number. I mean, like, then I got to ship you the box.
Unless you're on the new Channel Fireball marketplace coming out.
I am.
Sealed product, I think they only take 4%.
Got my back. I've always said Sasso is the only hope for the game, and he's doing a great job. That's what I've always said.
That's what you've said. Yeah. So, like, I do think that we see, and this is, I mean, James White has come out and said like he's a fan of the free open market, and that's great.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the free open market. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that there are ways to be a fan of the free open market and create avenues. I think Team Covenant, the deal with Team Covenant is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
In my mind, it's like, why not do more of that? Like, why not do that? I don't know.
And like, let me be clear. Team Covenant is every bit as much of a free market as Channel Fireball and SCG. I don't know why, like this is like the number one pet peeve because I literally teach this nonsense. Like I literally wrote my dissertation on Hayek. Like there is nothing more inherently free market about ripping somebody off than not ripping somebody off. Like that is not what the free market means under anybody's reasonable definition of free market. Like
interesting.
Like Team Covenant is every bit as capitalist as Channel Fireball.
Right.
They both have stores that they're using to sell their products. So, I mean, like this is something that I think is becoming like weirdly pervasive in the flesh and blood community that like, oh, you're critiquing a store's policy, so you're a socialist. That's not what that word means.
Yeah.
As a consumer arguing at a store that's selling the product, that doesn't mean I want the government to come in and say, okay, Joe Biden, you come in and mandate that Tails is $99 and Monarch is $1,000. I would support that if you did. But
that's the one policy I'll let fly.
That's the one policy I'll support is a Hayek.
$1,000.
Monarch to $1,000.
And crew goes down to $200 max selling price.
Like we're not arguing for that. We're arguing that that there needs to be an understanding that there has to be some upper limit of what first edition boxes should reasonably be on the market.
Correct. And then the market dictating the ceiling.
Especially for those stores and whatever that we are saying is to help people get into the game.
Yeah.
And like that's why we give them promos and whatever.
Right.
That's why I love the Team Covenant model. That's why I'm such a fan of Team Covenant, because they get the promos, but they don't upcharge with the promos. Right.
And they invest a week every day of their week to spreading the love of the game. They have a live stream. I know you do 1,000 videos.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about like, Rudy pushes out a bunch of videos and helps the game grow 100%. Channel Fireball is doing the Vegas event
content
that they can't possibly be making money to help that. But, they are doing the Vegas event and doing whatever. But like the way that Team Covenant does things should be rewarded. And I think the number one way to reward that is by giving them more boxes. Saying, hey, not just by giving them more boxes, although that's probably a way, but by saying, hey, this works so well that we're going to do it with other people too.
I'm going to call my buddy George, who owns fleshandblood.com, and tell him, hey, boss, I'm going to get you 5,000 boxes. Can you help me out and sell them at 100 bones? And I'll be like, brother, as long I'll do that. Can you make Monarch 1K?
Yeah. As long as you buy up all the Monarch to 1K.
Yeah,
so I win my bet.
Just ship that over. Just ship all the Monarch to me and we'll be great.
I think there's two things. Like, I've had enough of this nonsense of like, oh, they're critiquing a store's policies. They hate capitalism. No, absolutely not. I suspect I have probably studied capitalism more than anybody listening to this podcast, frankly. So spare me your terrible definitions.
Leave your George is a capitalist pig comments in the comment section.
Yeah. And like, I am very proudly a capitalist pig. Oink, oink. Give me a 85-ounce double cheeseburger Coke, and I'll be like a pig in mud. That is what freedom means. All right. So there is nothing inherently good about ripping off your customer, is my point. There's nothing good about that. That's not more capitalist. That's greedy. Right.
Yeah.
And let me be very clear. I am not saying Channel Fireball or SCG are doing that. I don't think they are.
You're right.
But
that's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to happen. That's the projection when a big store comes out like that, and they come out at 175, and we thought that SCG might come out at 100 and undercut Channel Fireball. That did not happen, and as a result of that not happening, now it's free capitalist pig for the rest of the stores.
I just noticed George switched from.
And here's how you can help this as a consumer: choose who you buy from.
Yeah, vote with your wallet.
Choose who you buy from. If your LGS is ripping you off at first, don't buy unlimited from them.
Right.
Like, this is easy.
I saw people actually getting upset.
The problem is when they get the exclusive promos, that then the only way to get that is to also get ripped off on the box price.
And I have a problem with that, but like, listen, we can deal with that in another podcast. I don't want,
we've already addressed that partially.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you want to go, if you look at the market and go like, man, my LGS sucks. They charged me $450 for a box of Monarch. What a bunch of clowns. Don't buy unlimited from them. Right. Don't buy Magic from them. Don't buy singles from them. Go find another LGS.
Go start your own LGS.
Yeah, don't do that. But like,
we also talked about that.
You have in the first half. Not gonna lie. But like, you get to choose,
right,
who you buy from.
That's part of capitalism.
That is the essence of capitalism.
Right.
Like, Milton Friedman's most famous book is called "Free to Choose."
Yep.
Because you're free to choose who you buy from, and like, Fireball is free to choose what they charge. If they want to raise the price tonight to $1,000, that's their right. And I'll support their right to do that. That doesn't mean I have to think that's a good decision.
Right.
Or that I have to buy boxes at $1,000.
No. So it is up to you. Like, it is clear now that like, I think the idea of $100 box seems unlikely if you don't have a good relationship with your LGS. But I will tell you right now, as a consumer, you need to do your part and buy from places you support that you think have earned your dollars.
Yep.
If that is Cavdane's Market, if that is Midtown Merchant, if that is, fleshandblood.com because they have no boxes, don't go there because there's nothing to buy. But if those others do, that's great. If it's Channel Fireball, that's great. I really don't care who you buy from. Make sure it's somebody that you feel good about supporting.
Yep.
Right.
Unless it's Louis. That's a little dicey.
I'm sick of us complaining. This is getting close to complaining. So let's just move on and talk about it.
We've been complaining, but we're not complaining about LSS.
This has not been a complaining. I know. But
okay. You want to do the MetaZoo minute?
MetaZoo minute time. Let's do it.
I want to
do my other
countdown. Can I open a pack on stream?
What?
No.
What? I can't open a MetaZoo first edition Kickstarter pack? That's fine.
It's on podcast. People are listening to it.
Okay. I can say what cards I'm opening.
No, we're not doing that on the stream. Do it on your channel. Do it for content for your Instagram.
Arcane Unlimited on the channel on the stream or no?
No. Okay. Let's do. You want to do MetaZoo minute or your secret topic, George? Just up to you.
My secret topic. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
All right. Give it to the people that are still here an hour in.
Okay. So first, this is a credit to you guys making it in. Louis was, I think, clearly proven wrong about his terrible hot dog stand. That a hot dog is absolutely a sandwich.
What is happening right now? How was
Here's
I proven
what somebody
wrong?
wrote to me, and I want people's thoughts on this. I was talking about how my deep, 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 passionate love for deep dish pizza.
Okay.
When I get put on death row, my last meal will be a Gino's East deep dish pizza. It's easy. I know right away what I'm getting.
Okay.
And somebody said to me, deep dish pizza is just an open face calzone.
No,
what's wrong? What's wrong about that?
True.
Nothing's wrong. Is it? My question is it?
Yes.
Whoa.
No,
a deep dish pizza is not deep dish pizza. It's not pizza. It's not pizza. It literally is. It is inches of sauce and meat.
No,
on some small piece of.
You go to garbage places and complain about garbage.
Listen to me. This only works one way. Okay. A pizza came first, and they turned the pizza into a calzone. You can't say something is a calzone before it was a pizza. So you can't work that way. It doesn't go backwards.
It's only one direction.
It does.
It goes
a one-way train.
It goes pizza, calzone,
Hot Pocket.
We're
on the same one on that
Hot
one.
Pocket, pizza roll. No, it goes pizza. Yeah, it's somewhere down there you have a bagel bite. Right. There's a bagel bite somewhere down there.
It gets there eventually.
It gets there eventually. You can't say that a bagel bite is just a smaller calzone. Like that doesn't work. Like it doesn't work. A pizza is a pizza, and it's the
a Hot Pocket is a small calzone though.
And you can't call a calzone a pizza.
I think I agree, but I don't know why I agree. Like this was my problem. Is like I think you're right, but I can justify to you. I think mathematically.
Have you seen Italians
for a second and just say that yesterday when we were talking about this podcast, George said that he had a secret topic that he wanted to talk about that was going to be the best topic ever on the podcast.
It's actually a decent.
This is apparently it.
This is it.
Well, I just will say this.
This is what I was teasing.
Have you seen what Italians have to say, the founders of pizza, what they have to say about deep dish?
Listen, I don't care. We've perfected it. They created it. We perfected it.
I strongly disagree, but it's fine.
Let me tell you. Have you ever had a
I'm not saying it's not
style pizza?
Let me be clear.
Yes.
I enjoy deep dish pizza. It's not pizza.
You're wrong. Like here's the trick. Like here's how a good deep dish pizza
is. A chicken burger a burger?
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
What makes something a burger? What makes something a burger?
In between a bun.
A hamburger makes a meat burger a burger.
Sorry,
anything that's labeled a burger is simply put a sandwich. Is a burger a sandwich?
This is my point. This is my point. Is it just a meat sandwich with I guess this is kind of like what do we define as pizza? And I would say there's far too much sauce and stuff for it to be an actual
deep dish pizza is 20 pounds of cheese per slice with about 15 pounds of sausage per slice.
It's not a real pizza. It's delicious.
Pizza. That's wrong.
It's not a real pizza.
That's also not the question. The question was, is a calzone a pizza?
No.
Or is deep dish a calzone?
An open face calzone.
I think it is.
It doesn't work that way, guys.
Why not? All I have to do is put dough on top and it's a calzone.
You don't define things by their secondary nature. You don't define things by their secondary nature. You define things by their primary nature. A pizza is a pizza. So a deep dish pizza has to be a deep dish pizza has to be defined by its core component, which makes it a pizza, not an open face calzone. So this is my channel. That is the official statement of Kitchen Table TCG.
Here's where I think I agree with you. A good, not Mick's garbage pizza, a good deep dish pizza.
You're acting like I haven't had good deep dish.
You clearly haven't.
I have. I love deep dish pizza. It's not pizza.
A good deep dish pizza, not Mick's garbage, is going to have a flaky crust.
Sure.
You can't have a flaky crust calzone. You can't hold it.
The outside is always flaky.
I agree.
No.
It pains me to know that the comment section is going to be mostly about this topic.
This is the only topic that matters.
I wouldn't say it's the only thing that matters. And George, you're from Chicago, or you lived in Chicago?
No, I lived there. I used to do some stuff at the University of Chicago. Chicago.
This better tie into talking about sewer alligator and how it's the #1 MetaZoo card.
It's not, but it's fine.
Okay, fine. Let's go to the MetaZoo minute so Louis stops whining again. I don't know why we bother having me pick the topics if we're just gonna let Louis pick them anyway. That's all right. That's all right.
I'm just going to open a pack and just for kicks and giggles. Go ahead. I'll tell you if I open anything good.
Anarchy. This is anarchy.
Do what I want.
You want capitalism? This is capitalism.
Who runs this channel?
Nobody knows.
Open up the pack. I'm glad you're opening it up off camera too. That's really good.
You guys told me not to open it. It's a MetaZoom in it. I mean, maybe. I can just go find one real quick and just place it in here. Go ahead. What's on the MetaZoom in it?
You opened up your box at midnight.
Yeah, I did. He just pulled that.
I'm also glad he did not announce the card. The one rule was you had to announce the card.
I opened up a full hollow chaos crystal just right now on stream.
Nobody believes you.
No, you didn't. It was nowhere near on stream.
Yeah, nobody believes you. It's also not a stream, and nobody believes you.
There's a lot wrong with that statement.
Guys, what are we talking about today other than this hollow chaos crystal open?
Okay, we're talking about, what do you want to talk about, George? First edition boxes?
So, like, what was your sense of the packs? How'd they feel? Were they easier to open?
Oh yeah, I'm curious about this.
So I'm very happy as somebody who hopefully will have a lot of box openings on the channel. If my channel Fireball boxes ever get here, because I sold out of all my other boxes.
John, that's your only hope again.
My only hope is reselling what I bought from Channel Fireball because I didn't get enough. Anyway, the packs are much easier to open. They rip all the way, like almost all the way down. If you don't get it all the way,
is it the same tear?
It's not. The pack is longer, but the cards are the same size, so there's more room. You know, there's just a little
box
bit more
topper.
Room. There is a box topper, which is impossible to open. You should definitely use scissors and not do it like I did. I completely screwed up the card. I completely bent it. George,
did you leave it afterwards or no?
There was no sense. I could have just.
It's already damaged enough. No sense in further damaging. It's already damaged enough. Good thinking, really.
If I use it for toilet paper, it would be in better condition than after I opened it.
Oh God! Wow! Oh, Jesus! Well, the good news is the comment section will no longer be about calzones. Continue, Louis.
Just Louis' choice of toilet paper.
So as far as the box goes, I got 5 Ghost Train full hollows. So
it's a Ghost Train hot box. That seems fine to me.
The coalition. Somebody left a comment that pained me. Love you, whoever this was, but somebody left a comment that that proves that it's true randomness in the boxes.
Can I say how much I love that? No matter what you pull, that would have been the comment. Like you're like, I didn't get the same card twice. See, truly random, truly random.
My argument to that is like, no, like what probably happens with that is like they're pulling cards, and I don't know. I don't have a solution for it. I love that for sealed box prices. If you're somebody that's holding sealed boxes, this idea that you could pull 5 full hollow Mothmen in one box is going to like drive the sealed box price through the moon. Like the person that posted a YouTube video of a 5 Mothman box opening, if that's not me, I'm going to be so frustrated.
It won't be.
Mike Waddle hates you like James White hates you.
No, I really hope it's me.
No, Mike Waddle loves you.
Listen,
Mike loves you.
Me and Mike Waddle, we're friends. Like we've got a connection.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad because James White does hate you, and that's like the good part about the joke is that it's actually true.
It's becoming. I feel like maybe it's more true than I want it to be. Anyway, moving on.
What?
You see, he's finally letting him he's getting into the agreement phase. He's getting into the acceptance phase. This is phases of grief. It's fine.
Oh I love James White, and I don't. It doesn't have to be. It can be like me.
It's not a two-way street.
It can be like me and all the girls in high school. Like it can be.
I relate to that.
Way of love, and it is what it is. Anyway, I think the boxes seem fun. I mean, I think it's definitely fun to open. There is a aura in every pack now, so that should solve some.
I love that.
That should solve some of the issues. It was fun. We gave away a bunch of packs. People complained that they didn't have a cryptid from their state, and
I thought that was really unfair of you, Louis. I wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I wanted you to know that like when you were giving away all these cards for free to people who were watching who didn't even have to be patrons, my first thought was how much of a jerk you were for not giving them all away to just one person.
Yeah, I'm the worst content creator in the world. So anyway, it was fun. It was a good time. I can't wait to do some more box openings. I just got some of the decks. I still haven't gotten all my full supply yet. Hopefully,
I haven't gotten any of my decks yet. I'm short a bunch of boxes. I mean, they're working on it. Like I think I might miss the 30th by a few days. I think is my gut.
Yeah.
But like I think we're looking at next week probably for like a full set.
And it's their first big release.
It doesn't bother me.
It's a lot.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Crucible. Like I'm not convinced that I'm going to get Crucible, and I'm not complaining about that. Like,
you are definitely not getting Crucible by the 30th. I will help you.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
you might get the stuff I send you by the 30th.
Yeah, hopefully.
What day? 27th?
I'm not getting it by the 30th.
It'll be close.
Anyway,
when the FedEx comes.
I think the first edition is going to be a huge success. It'll be interesting to see box prices. Channel Fireball still has some, I think, at 150.
Okay. I was going to ask that.
You need to buy those. Like, you need to call your OGS and see if they have them. If not, you need to buy those.
For the record, everyone, I am buying them. I sold to patrons in my bundle deal at $100, and I'm taking a $50 loss and buying a bunch from Channel Fireball too. So.
I will add that I'm doing the exact same thing.
They are 150 right now. So.
Yeah. So anyway, it's exciting.
I think
I'm going to play
like
some
Aura in
games
every pack. I think.
Live stream.
How was the card quality? Did they change it all from Kickstarter? Or
I think it's exactly the same. I honestly think the only difference is the Kickstarter logo.
I know Mike in your chat exclusive. You're welcome, Louis, for pumping this up. Said it was the same printer for Kickstarter and first. I just know if they use different paper or anything.
Definitely feels exactly the same to me.
Which is fine. I think their cards felt good, to be honest. I didn't buy their cards.
The packs feel the same. They're just a little bit longer, so they're easier.
I actually like the feel of their packs a lot.
I love the feel of the packs. They don't feel like
it's a matte.
Yeah,
it's a matte finish. It's really nice.
Like I have never once been somebody that's like, hey, I want to collect sealed packs. Like I'm all, I collect boxes and I collect cards, but I actually want a pack art set of I'll probably do Kickstarter, but just the feel of the pack is the same. But yeah.
Anyway,
it's cool.
I don't know how to explain it. It's nice. I enjoy it.
Release week's gonna be crazy.
Were you right about your hunch about the box topper, Louis?
Yes, the box topper is a full art foil, all different art from Poncho.
So all right, listen. All right, cool. So we got to end up. We'll end with this. What are those cards going to be worth?
Moon. So here's the deal. If those are not printed in second edition or unlimited, which is, I honestly hope Mike, if you're listening, I think that MetaZoo needs something to distinguish first edition from unlimited or second edition more than just like a logo. Make the box topper first edition only. Boom. Yep. Like the sealed box prices, like, I think they'll gradually get there, but that will make long term the sealed box prices worth a lot, first edition to 1K, and allow you to then give players the cards in unlimited or whatever for playing the game. So I think that's the win.
Yeah, I think that's about. I agree with you fully. I think that would be wise. I know Mike said he's working on doing an armory kit thing for second edition, which I think is really smart.
Cool.
Yeah. Maybe you can put some of the Poncho art in that in non-foil.
That's a good idea. Cool. Yeah, reuse the artwork in non-foil.
Plus it's cheaper.
Nice.
Plus it's cheaper to print. And you have to pay for new artwork.
Give it to as prize support for the winners. That's cool.
Listen, I think the hype is there.
It's crazy.
There's Mothman selling for hundreds of dollars, and
a Mothman gets sold on eBay for what, like $500? I saw
$500.
Right,
crazy.
Somebody was talking about it on the YouTubes.
I saw. Yeah, dude, the content creators are great. Shout out to Argos Anonymous, dude. That guy's content's gold. I like him. I want to be. I don't have competitors, George. We've talked about this.
I do. Only buy from fleshandblood.com. Continue.
I only buy MetaZoo from fleshandblood.com.
Yeah, I own MetaZoo4.com, but I'm not going to make it because I have nothing to sell you online, and I already have one website that I literally can't use to sell anything because I don't have any boxes. I don't need to collect websites that I literally can't sell anything on because I have no boxes.
I mean, clearly you need to collect them so you can sell them.
Who says the guy who's going to buy
No! What are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing? You don't want to spoil it.
What are you doing? What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
You're going to have it by the time this comes out.
Okay. All right. So what do you think? What do you think the EV will be, Louis, for these boxes, for MetaZoo boxes when they come out?
No clue. I don't want to play that game. $350.
I don't want to play the game. Let me tell you my answer. That's Louis. Continue.
$350 to $400. And if you get, I don't know. I think so. I mean, I think
you're right. And I guess that's.
It depends on what those rainbow foil. I mean, if those foil auras hit. I mean, that could be a game changer. If those are $100 cards, that adds $100 to every box.
Like, listen, there's only 25,000 of them.
So Fab opened up
See, like that's the key here. Like so here's the thing with MetaZoo, right? You have 25,000 boxes, but you also have the spell books. You also have the blister packs. You don't have that in Flesh and Blood.
Release event.
Every single, I believe that every single pre-constructed deck has a pack in it. There's a lot of.
I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. That's cool.
I have one over there. I'll double check, but I think that the key here is that the box toppers are limited to 25,000. So there are only 2,500 of each individual artwork, which is not that many. Especially if you start thinking if you want a full foil set in your deck, you need 10 of them, whatever. So like, I think those see some value. If those hit $50-$60, it adds $50-$60 per box to the EV, which will really change the way that you perceive the boxes, in my opinion.
Interesting.
So,
are you going to be opening a lot of boxes, Louis?
Only for patrons. I mean, I am only for patrons.
Not for George.
Not for George. I'm going to do some box openings. I'm going to do some case breaks. I haven't decided how many. I got to figure out what I bought from Channel. You're
not going to do a case break. I think you're lying.
I'm debating how much I'm going to open.
Like a case
I haven't
16
figured it out
box
yet.
for those who don't know.
I'm not going to do a single store for it. I'm not going to sell singles in TCG Player or eBay. I might do I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to play with my friends. I do all that stuff for Flesh and Blood. That's like I'll sell boxes to patrons and at the MSRP and local people. But I'm not playing the games for that. I want to play the game, not the financial game.
I'm curious, out of the market share, I'm curious what will be collectors versus players. Because I think a lot of people have been wanting to play it. And so I'm wondering how many of this will play. Are they going to wait till second printing now? Or
No.
I mean, it's coming this fall, right?
Like here's where I think here's like where I see MetaZoo in the market, and I think this is actually a really smart move. They're trying to compete with Pokemon, right? Like Pokemon has a player base and a collector base,
right?
And like and that's fine, that's great. And that's what I think MetaZoo wants to be. Flesh and Blood wants to be a player's exclusive game. It feels like a player focused game. No.
No, man. I think you downplay the collectability of Flesh and Blood, which is weird because you are a Flesh and Blood collector, and
right. There's a heavy collector group.
Honestly, anybody who ever accuses you of trying to pump one thing or the other is not paying any attention because you don't pump the right things for what you are. Like you should be pumping the collectability of Flesh and Blood.
I'm just incompetent. Like that, I'm doing what I can. It's just a level of competence, Louis.
I know that you have quite a whatever, and like I bought another heart this week. I know that you bought some Crucible boxes, yet you think Monarch's going to go above Crucible. Like you're so wrong. You're too wrong to be trying to.
Let me be very clear here. I have way more Monarch than I have Crucible.
So like, here's the thing. I think Flesh and Blood.
I have right more now than I have Crucible.
Right now, oh wow! I think right now, Flesh and Blood is seeing the player base grow and the collector base shrink. I think that MetaZoo.
That's the first time that's happened, actually.
I think that Kickstarter is really the more investable product in MetaZoo.
I think that's it. Listen. I don't want to see this. When is this airing?
This is airing on Friday. You gotta buy more
think that Kickstarter boxes are one. If you're looking to invest. Kickstarter boxes, I think, are going to the moon eventually if the game succeeds, in my opinion.
If you look at Flesh and Blood as the example, that's exactly what happened with Unlimited. When Unlimited released, was that December or that was November? That was when
November. Yeah,
that was when alpha boxes were $800. Right? There are infinitely more, almost 10 times more alpha boxes. If you see the player base grow as a result of first edition for MetaZoo, Kickstarter boxes are going to follow the same trajectory as alpha boxes, in my opinion.
Somebody in Discord, remember who or else give them credit, had a really great insight that it's going to be similar to Pokemon first edition versus Pokemon Unlimited.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And like listen, there is a significant difference in price between those two,
for sure.
There's no boxes of Kickstarter. There's none. Like they don't exist.
Yeah,
there's 2,500 in the world.
Somebody could pop in with a fatter cat than George could come in
and
sure buy out eBay, and then where's the boxes?
Louis, there's like 3 boxes on eBay.
I could not do that.
There's like 4 boxes on eBay. Like,
let's put things in perspective.
Channel Fireball has boxes right now.
Wait, for Kickstarter?
Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Gosh.
I thought I bought them out.
1900.
Here's George's fat fingers buying them. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's what it is.
They have 2 in stock right now.
Guys, we are not buying these on our podcast right
now. We did it last week.
4, 5,
these the
6,
end of
7.
Are you looking 8, on eBay?
9, 10, 11. There's 11 boxes under $4,000.
Yeah, so somebody could easily hop in and spend 40, 50 grand. And like we've seen that. We saw that happen with Flesh and Blood. We saw that happen with Flesh and Blood. So like here's the point that I'm trying to make.
Steve Aoki, your only hope.
Steve Aoki could come in and buy up, and then it's it. Then a box is worth $4 grand.
Yeah.
And so like I think that's the question is, if somebody does consider an investable product, which some people certainly do, like for me, it's like I love the game and I want to have I'm not buying it so that I can sell, in the future. I'm buying it so I can do a box break this week. Like that's fun for me as a content creator. It's fun for the viewers as content watchers. For me, I want a sealed box or 2 for my 30 years down the road to have it on my shelf to say I have it. Like that's cool. Like for me, like that's the gameplay. That's what I did for Alpha. I will never sell my Alpha box. It'll be when you bury me, it'll be Louis' Alpha box and my spring tunic on a chain that I got, and I'll say I bought this in the dip of Flesh and Blood, and now it's worth $0.
BGS 6.5i.
My BGS 6.5i will be sold as soon as it's worth $75K to fund visions on the channel. That's why I bought it. It was an investment for the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can buy my 9.0i. That would have been a 9.5 quad if I had not sleeved it for 75 grand. Yeah. And you can support the channel. And until then, it's not being sold. So by like next week, it'll be worth that.
I'm on to 1K.
That's what I told my wife. Anyway, so
you come here for financial and marriage.
Marriage advice. Buy $10,000 cards and tell your wife that you'll be able to sell them for 7 times gains in 6 months and see what happens.
We can't give financial advice, but Louis can give marriage advice.
Yes, I can. I can give you lots of ways to fail at marriages.
You're doing great.
Thanks, George. This podcast has gotten out of control at this point. Are we done? What else?
This is capitalism, baby. Free market reign.
I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Other than George being here.
I'm glad you said that. I want to let both you chumps know. I now know why you guys did not encourage me to read the comments. I read last week's comments, and I want to thank all of you. You guys are amazing. You guys look through this podcast and see the diamond in the rough that is George.
We need more negative George comments.
Are the true MVPs. Louis says terrible things about you behind your back. I always defend you. Louis just goes off about all these people. Oh, I don't like him, George. Oh, like Louis. They are the best people. They are the best, and I want to thank you.
Mitch, you're muted. We can't hear anything you're saying.
Sorry, my kid was coming in and increased an awful noise. There was one comment. It literally just said,
"His kids make awful noises."
No, my door makes an awful noise when they open it. It says George, and then it was no other words, just an emoji. Goat.
That's so true.
And I want to thank you all.
I love you all too. I always defend you. You guys in Wall Street chat are the best.
I don't think it was Wall Street either.
I don't think Wall Street cares about us.
Oh, they do. Except for there's like 2 people there who drive me crazy. If you're not those 2 people, I love you.
All right.
And let me be clear, you know who you are. And like everybody else in the channel also knows who you are.
Everyone, we appreciate you. May the zoo be with you. If you are looking for merch or want to support the podcast, or really you're just supporting Louis, there is merch available at Cabinet. Eventually we'll have the play mats. Eventually they'll be in and they'll be able to ship out.
Those actually look really cool.
They'll never come in.
I am convinced that
we have any update?
The website
I emailed this morning.
The website that says that they ship out on June 30th, it does not have a year there. Apparently, we're talking next year for the playmats, but whenever they get in, they will be shipped out. If you're interested in t-shirts, they'll ship out instantly, and hoodies at
I gotta buy one for MegaCon, I think.
We need
Y'all
to
see the new MegaCon card?
I'm
definitely getting a MegaCon card.
We need to get you a Hawaiian shirt. Every time we do the podcast, I think of that. Anyway,
I got an email that said that he had my back.
I appreciate you all. And remember to be kind to the people around you, and may the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
Also with you.